I'm Margaret Hunter Wade, and this is Round Roanoke on Cox 9. On Round Roanoke, we focus on the events happening in the Roanoke Valley so you can go out and be a part of them. Smart Beginnings of Greater Roanoke has been helping area families for decades. To continue its mission, the nonprofit is hosting book fairs to raise money. Smart Beginnings Director Chris Myers is here to tell us more. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thanks for joining us. So, we'll just start with the book fair itself. Why is Smart Beginnings hosting this book fair?
Well, this is our second time trying it, and it's sort of for two reasons. One, we're trying to just spread the word about the importance of reading to young children. It's one of the easiest things that you can do with a little kid to help get them ready for school, and it's so important. There's vocabulary and language and just the interaction with a grown-up. And then the other piece that's nice that Barnes & Noble helps with is they provide a portion of all the proceeds will go back to Smart Beginnings, and then we can use that to raise money to get more books for local child care centers and to give out at our parent education programs.
That's great. So this year you are actually going to feature several books.
Yes.
What are they, which they're right here, and why
they're
did you choose these specific books?
Well, we thought we would sort of choose three that sort of highlight kind of three different types of books that everyone should have in their home and in their classroom. So the first one is a nursery rhyme book, and this sort of goes in the category of books with rhyme and repetition. Okay. And that's great for early language and literacy development that kids are going to need as they become readers and writers. Even understanding rhyme is really important for spelling. So like recently my third grader was trying to spell the word spoon, and he kept putting one O, and I reminded him that it sounded like moon. So if he knows moon, he can spell spoon. So starting with babies and toddlers and reading nursery rhymes over and over and over again is just so important. But any book with rhyme and repetition is also great too.
Okay.
The next one is called My First Numbers, and this kind of represents books that relate to math or social studies or science type things, and we'd like to have more books in our classrooms and homes with real objects. And a lot of times if you look at your typical children's book, they're more the pretend side of things, the cartoons, and we find that for kids to learn early math concepts, science, and everything, they need examples of that. And so this counting book is great not just for counting, but it's got colors and shapes, so it's great for vocabulary and animals, like for science.
Great.
So that's the second category. And then the third category kind of falls into these books called Simple Life Lessons. So I find as a parent and as a teacher that when challenges come up with toddlers and preschoolers, and they do, that to sit down with a book and kind of use the book to talk through a problem or what you could do is helpful. So the one we chose is called Hands Are Not for Hitting. And we know it's very common and totally normal for little kids to go through that stage of when they're angry to want to hit. But this is a great book that reminds them what can you do with your hands, that you can wave hello with your hands, but hands are not for hitting. And I was telling you earlier, it's part of a series. There's a teeth are not for biting, feet are not for kicking. So books can be great to teach simple life lessons.
Great. So you kind of touched on these all are building skills, particularly starting at a young age. Reading, it helps develop children for, kindergarten and a life of time of learning. What is the purpose of Smart Beginnings? How does this all tie into what you all do as an organization?
Our goal really is to get children ready for kindergarten, so school readiness. And right now, about 1 in 5 children in the Roanoke area enter kindergarten not ready to succeed. And kids who aren't ready when they start kindergarten tend to be the same kids who aren't ready in 3rd grade, and it just continues on. So if we can get more children ready to enter kindergarten, that's really our goal. And to do that, we're trying to raise the quality of early care and education in our area, and that's through parent education programs and working with the local child care centers and preschool programs. So it's not just about having books in a classroom or a home, it's having quality books, and these are good examples of that.
Right. And those are good tips that you kind of touched on as well. So if a parent's interested in more information, how do they get that?
So our website is smartbeginningsroanoke.org, and then we also have a Facebook page, Facebook.com Smart Beginnings Roanoke, and just make sure that it's the local Roanoke one. And the parents page in particular has a lot of great resources on it.
It does. I've referenced it often, so I recommend it. Now back to the book fair quickly. Yes. Where and when is the book fair going to be held?
So it's on Saturday, November 19th, and this year we're doing it at both Barnes & Noble locations. Okay. So it's at the Tanglewood Mall location and the Barnes & Noble in Valley View. And from 11 to 5, we'll have all kinds of different events, story times, performances, and arts and crafts, and books, of course.
Sounds like a fun day. Now, if we can't make it, is there a way we can still support Smart Beginnings?
Yes, this is one of the great things with Barnes Barnes & Nobles for the entire week, the 19th through the 25th. You can go online and there's a code you can use, which is available on our website. There's a flyer, and you type in the code, and again, about 20% of the proceeds from whatever you buy, it doesn't even have to be kids books, goes to Smart Beginnings. So when you're doing your holiday shopping, do it that week and think of Smart Beginnings, and we'd really appreciate it.
Great. Well, we wish you the best of luck and hope you raise some funds and also get some of these books donated back to these child care centers. So thank you, Chris, for coming in.
Thank you.
You can learn more about the Smart Beginnings of Greater Roanoke Book Fair and other happenings coming up on the Cox Community Calendar during the break. I'm Margaret Hunter Wade, and you are watching Round Roanoke on Cox 9.